Hey, wine mermaids. This is the Peace, Love, and Wine podcast, bringing you happy hour conversations with awesome women on self-care, sisterhood, and creative living to reduce stress and maximize joy. Life is short, so grab a glass and get ready to sip, sparkle, and make a splash. Make sure to visit peaceloveandwine.com and enter your email to receive VIP deals and get your free self-care download. Now, here's your wine sister hostess with the mostest, Tiffany Humfeld.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of our virtual happy hour retreat series. I am Tiffany, founder of Peace, Love, and Wine, and I am joined today by the lovely Zahra Efan, who is a business abundance coach. And remember, we are talking about you're rocking your biz, but it's burning you out. Tips and tools from top entrepreneurs on how to go from overworked and overwhelmed to overjoyed. And I know that money can be a big cause of overwhelm. So Zahra, tell us a little bit about your background with the mindset behind money and how that has impacted your life and what you do today.
So I was talking to Tiffany a little bit before the interview. She's so lovely, and I love the topic and the name, the wine, and all of that. So I'm a abundance business coach because I believe that I meet two kind of entrepreneurs being in business. One of them, they are making money, but they're working so hard that they don't have time to enjoy the money they're making, and others are not making money, and both of them feel overwhelmed and not abundant, because I believe that to be abundant, we also need to enjoy the money we are making. We need to create the lifestyle, and money is a very big piece of feeling abundance, but it's not everything if you don't have time to enjoy the money and you're overwhelmed and you're overworked. So my journey with money started, as I was telling Tiffany, I grew up in a family that was wealthy, and everything was created based on the lack they felt. So I find a lot of time, even in business, when as women business owner, we are looking at all this information and we are overwhelmed with marketing information. Somebody is telling us you should sell a product for $1 million, or you should social media. And when we are coming from lack, which is whether lack of money or a lack of peaceful, abundant life, we are so tempted to say yes to everything, and not in touch with our intuition because we're not in self-care, or we're not getting enough sleep and we're not nourished. And that's when we can make not very good decisions. I saw my family making not very good decisions because they use money to compensate for lack. But I also realized in my journey for money, when I thought that, money at that time, I didn't even know how to believe that wealthy people lived a lack life. I realized that you cannot be abundant without money, but you can have a lot of money but still not feel abundant. So I wanted all of it. I wanted abundance of joy, I wanted abundance of fun, and I also wanted abundance of money. But what I learned when I was doing my money work, that a lot of us healers and coaches, we actually are really good and very sensitive and very intuitive when it comes to working and helping our clients. When it comes to asking for money, we're not. There's a very good reason for it, because a lot of us got hurt by people, loved ones, who had money, or even if they didn't have money, they looked after us, which represented money being taken care of as children by adults who are responsible, put the food on table, and they hurt us. So we were wounded healers because we don't want to hurt people. So charging money means questioning people who loved us but didn't look after us or hurt us. But the truth is that money is power. People with money have power to make decisions in the politics, can write check and send it to Africa. So if we have that split, we don't want to be powerful because we were hurt by people who are powerful, we are not going to step up and claim our power.
Right. When
we come from our personal power, I think spiritual people, spiritual women need to make a lot of money. So it doesn't matter whether it was our ex-husband or ex-boyfriend or who hurt us. We need to step up in our personal power so that we can be spiritual money and who make money and do a lot of good in the world. Women, we naturally intuitive. We are connected to the cycle of moon, our periods, and lots of other gifts we have. When we step into that personal power, personal feminine power, take action, which is structure and masculine as well. We need to balance both. We can't have one or the other. We can make a lot of difference by making a lot of money.
Right.
We're not physically able to go to Africa. We write a check. I donate money, a percentage of my income. And I remember at one time I was feeling really grateful for, not having had anything when I came to Canada and having a house that have a very much mortgage for 1.5 million and having everything that I wanted, not having any relationships, to being married and having children. And I was thinking, well, I have so much to be grateful for, and how I created everything from feeling lack as a person, and then realizing that I am enough. I can go to my business or to anything or to anybody, help me overcome that lack or compensate for that. The lack is beautiful. That's my gift. Those are the wounds. We don't need to do anything to compensate for those wounds. We just need to take the lessons and the gifts that those wounds gave us and feel grateful and share it with the world. So I was looking at this organization when I was feeling like I want to do more to help the world, and came across this organization called Kiva Org, and they give loans to men in third world countries, and they start businesses. I read a really beautiful story of a woman who didn't have any education, and she was given a loan, so she bought a cow. She started selling the milk. Then she sold enough milk to make money and also buy another cow. Pretty soon she had a herd.
She had cow leverage.
Leverage, yes. Totally. And she thought, these women don't need our sympathy or pity. They need for us to step up into our greatness and our brilliance. This woman had no education, no opportunity. Taking that loan, she turned her life around. Then I read a research called 100 Monkey Effect that confirmed what I was thinking. When we take actions to step up, live our dreams vibrationally, we give permission to everybody else around us. And what that research was, the monkeys in Japan did a certain movement, and monkeys in North America picked up on that movement, and they started doing the same movement.
Oh my God.
So we are powerful like those monkeys. Like, we step up and overcome our lacks, and we step up and deal with the wars within us, and whatever they are, we give everybody else permission to be brilliant. That's what the world needs. People who are not afraid to be brilliant.
Yeah, we can either focus on what we don't have and the scariness of power, right? Or we can, which then also has to do with confidence and probably not making the money because other people can feel that, right? And get scared, like, oh, what's going to happen if I work with them? Then I don't have confidence in working with them, right? But then if you can step into the power, then it can work the other way, right?
And that's exactly what it is. When I first started, it was so tempting when I saw a woman who was an ideal client, and I so much just wanted to do it for free because I was so happy about what I did and I liked it. But that's a mismatch of a value. You give discount or you do your work for free, how are you going to teach your client? So the best gift you can give your client is to believe in their resourcefulness. Mm-hmm. Believe in that they are resourcefulness. If they are resourcefulness to find money, pay for something that can change their life, you're also going to attract the clients who are going to find money. Pay them, that is going to change their life. That's where I feel like when I started my business, and even though I had marketing experience, but your own business is like everything gets questioned, everything you believe about yourself, because you're really selling yourself, especially in the coaching business. You don't have a house or a car to sell. You're selling yourself and your gifts and all the lessons you've learned, and going from afraid to charge $200 for 1 month and asking the clients to renew from month to month, and now fast forward to today, doing 5 figures packages, knowing clearly that it's going to make a difference in my clients' lives and they are going to be able to charge the same amount for the packages. It just makes me believe that doing internal and external work makes a lot of difference. And I just want to quickly add in about packages, because there's so much going on right now around packages and what people charge, that high-end packages is not about charging somebody a bunch of money. And it's not even about finding people who are wealthy enough to pay you. It's about totally clear on the value you're providing. And being coaches and healers, we're good people and we are a lot of integrity. And it's very hard to ask somebody for money if we're not clear on the value that we are providing. And how that works is by getting absolutely clear on the message. And, I had a client come to me that invested $1,000 in a program, how to market on social media. Then another group program for $3,000 on how to market her business. And I get a lot of clients like that. When they start their business, they are so motivated and they invest in something and they think that didn't work and I don't know, were not pre-qualified or whether they were just excited. Then I still admire their courage to not give up on their dreams. And when I sat with this client, I realized that social media marketing or the other marketing, nobody taught her what was her message. If you don't know what you're selling, learning all these different techniques on how to market yourself anywhere, it could be social media, it could be in a group program, you need to know what we're selling. And that's where the value comes in. And we sat and I looked at her and she had been through a very painful divorce and she came out on the other side so strongly, having a spiritual relationship with her ex, having children who are spiritual teachers for both her and her ex, and who turned out to be emotionally stable after the divorce. It was just right there. It was so close to her. And a lot of us, when we can do something so beautifully, we think, so easy, everybody can do that. I told her, you're a divorce coach. Because the lawyers charge money. They're fighting for whoever they're fighting for. They need to get the most settlement. As a divorce coach who works with women who are going through this overwhelm and who don't have clarity, and they just sign up whatever they are told because they're already in so much pain. So she worked with a client whose husband was a successful businessman, but this woman in supportive role has given a lot of herself in that marriage, emotionally, physically. And then when she was told to sign up a settlement by the lawyer for $450,000, my client told her that wasn't enough. Why it wasn't enough? Because these kids are going to grow up and go to university. It's going to pay for their university education and all these other things. So when she looked at that, she added in the divorce settlement that the father will pay for their university education. And I have worked with many clients who have been down by their parents who, whatever reason, did not pay for their university, even though they promised they will. So she got that written down in her settlement. So it was no brainer that her client would pay her 5-figure.
Right.
Because she is looking at that a person who is going through divorce cannot look at. So the high-end packages are really looking at benefits and gifts that you bring to the table, and also what your clients will have as a result of working with you.
Right.
That comes from having a really clear message.
So you know who you need to target and how you're going to transform their life, right?
Totally.
And so it sounds like you coach a lot of coaches. That sounds like
coaches, healers. I've also coached a filmmaker, this amazing woman. She made a movie on forgiveness because she really struggled with forgiving. Who is the best person to teach her to forgive? Really struggled with forgiving because she's been really hurt by other people. So holistic practitioners, people who have gone through a difficult life journey or difficult experience, and they have made to the other side of overcoming them. So, for example, I don't know if you may have watched a movie called Slumdog Millionaire. Mm-hmm. That movie was a boy called Jamal, and he was raised on the streets of India. And he went on this show where he won $1 million, and they questioned his credibility because some of the questions asked were so intelligent that they thought, well, you've got to gone to school or university to answer this. So they asked Jamal, what did he know the answers? So Jamal started telling his story. He was on the street begging with another boy who was blind. There was an American tourist. He gave a $100 bill. This blind person is touching the bill and feeling, and I feel a photo. Whose photo is that? And the tourist replied, "Is Abraham Lincoln." So Jamal remembered the answer. He answered that on the talk show, and all of the other answers he learned on the streets. So I always tell my clients, don't look at your life experiences as nothing. You went to university, that's great. The life experiences matter just as much or more. Wherever you overcame, wherever your mess is, that's where your message is. So go into your pain and look at the message. I have a client, a beautiful client who is a lawyer, and then she is a courageous person to make an abundant decision to do what she loves, and she's a feng shui consultant. And when you start your new business and she's learning marketing, and we tend to not look at everything else we have done in our life, and I keep reminding herself, you were a successful lawyer in a new country. She moved from England to Germany, where not only you learned the language, you were a lawyer. She was actually an attorney, which means she could fight the cases in the court. So don't just because you're learning marketing that all your life experiences don't count. Right. Everything counts. You bring all of you to your business.
I think that's a really good message for people in the coaching industry, and also potential coaching clients to understand why sometimes, on the surface rates might seem high. It's because, it's not just this one action today, right? It's the culmination of the experiences and the time that it's going to take for the coach to help, give that real attention to help make the transformation for the client.
The time it took them to get to this stage to learn from their own life experiences. Right. And then a lot of us, you're a coach, we do a lot of extra inner work, and we continue to do, and I still do. I'll never go without a coach because I believe in my product. And we and all of that. And also from a marketing point of view, once a client learns how is their message, where to find the clients, how to find them, and how to have successful enrolling conversations, they are in business for life. They've learned the skill and they're in business for life, and they're going to make that money over and over again. They do the deeper work and take time to do the deeper work. Like myself, I have done on my shadow side. We all have shadow side, and it just come up when we are going through stress. And I spent years studying with Gary Ford and so many other masters and teachers, and I still continue to do that because part of being a coach is to be really aligned. And to be aligned, we continue to take time to go for retreats and silent meditations and do internal and external work, having our own business coaches, because every stage of growth need a different advice, and we need more hand holding. We all get scared when we are flying high.
Right. Yeah. And we can't see our own blind spots, as one of my friends says, right? So tell me a little bit, let's go through some actual action steps that women in business can take if they're feeling overwhelmed, whether that's on the topic of money, excuse me. And I know you talk about the order, the importance of the order of making money and overwhelm. So can you maybe address that topic?
So it's very, very important. One of the ways to avoid overwhelm is to know the stages in your business, or which order to take what actions. Mm-hmm. So a lot of time when there is a lot of marketing advice there, we try different things, and somebody might say, you can create a product and sell and make a lot of money. Somebody else might say, you need to do social media. Somebody might say, you need to do LinkedIn. And it's so overwhelming. And one of the reasons it's overwhelming is because, once again, we are not listening to our own definition of abundance. We just feel so overwhelmed by this lack. We feel it could be lack of money, or lack of business not being successful, or it could be just our belief system. We can get into what I call shiny objects.
Yes.
We don't know the order. Our business, shiny object may not be the right object for us. For example, I believe that when you're just starting your business, it's not the right time to take time to, first of all, create a product, and let alone sell a product. To be able to sell a product and to create a product, you need to work with real clients. You need to get real stories and experience. Right. Then, when after you create the product, you need to have a list of people to sell it to. It's nothing worse than having a product and not having anybody to sell to.
Right.
So it comes back to listening to yourself, listening to your intuition, listening to your needs. So what do you need? If you are starting your business and you need to let go of your full-time job, you can seem very tempted to make $1 million or whatever figure because you're feeling like you don't have anything. But what do you need? How much income do you need to replace your job income? How much income you need to bring in so that you don't need to work your job? Or if you are in business, how much income you need to pay your mortgage, to live a great life, go past your survival needs so that you can actually do more things and hire a team and do bigger things or get a product or all of those back-end pieces. That's where you start.
Right.
Start with, I need to make money. I need to make $5,000 per month if that's what your goal is, for example. So what do you need to make $5,000 per month? You need clients. So you need clients. So you need to work with somebody who can teach you how to get clients the most easiest way, in the most effective way. Like today, that's what you need. You need $5,000 or you need $10,000. So I had somebody come to me who was told that this really big person in the website industry charges $18,000 for website, and you would get a lot of visibility. And let me tell you, you don't need a website when you can make six figures before you need a website. So if you spend $18,000 and God forbid, if it's your retirement fund or if it's your job, whatever compensation or package, then you don't get any clients because there is a strategy how websites work, the back end work that goes into it, your clear message and your free product, and all of that takes time, energy, and money. If you don't have time and energy and you pay all your money in getting an $18,000 website, that's not the right order. Don't do that. So with somebody who can show you one or two easiest way to market yourself, then go and do that.
Yeah, good. So it's about first the practical side of really going, okay, what are my monthly expenses? So what do I know minimally I need to subsist, right, and live off of? And then what are 1 to 2 things that I can do today to start bringing that money in, right?
Yeah. And if you really want to invest money, the best money you will invest is in working with a really good business coach can help you get clear on your message first. Because if you don't have a message, you could learn all the fancy ways to market, like my client to learn. You pay $2,000 to learn how to do social media, but no message, and $3,000 in another group program. So really working with somebody who can help you being clear on your message so that you know what you're selling. You have to have something to sell that is result oriented and sell in a way that your clients understand. I'll give you an example. So, I work with a lot of, energy workers, and I totally understand the importance of their work. But I also know that if you go to a networking event and if you say to somebody, I help you overcome limiting belief, they're not going to understand. They're probably not going to pay you for that. There's a reason. I totally agree that there are people who know how to help somebody overcome limiting belief. And overcoming those limiting beliefs can lead to a lot of different things. When people wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, don't even know they have limiting beliefs.
Right.
They're thinking about, I don't have enough money. I had another argument with my husband. I had another headache and I'm going to miss work. So sell to people things that they need.
Right.
Then when they come to work with you, will do your process. So overcoming limiting beliefs is your process. It's not your message. I was at a networking event and I met this beautiful lady and she asked her what you do, and she said she helps people work on some patterns. And I asked again, so who do you work with? And she said, I work with superheroes. And none of that was clear. Overcoming patterns, I understand. People need to know what overcoming those patterns is going to do for them. What are their wake up in the morning problems? And who are superheroes? Like, who do you define to a client who comes and asks you? So you need to elaborate in a way that people understand so that they like, wow, she's the answer to my prayers.
Right.
The problem I'm struggling with. I had another migraine headache and I missed work, and how much it cost me when I missed work. Those are the problems we need to talk to.
Right. And I think we sometimes get too clever or creative in our initial pitches or our titles. And it's like, it sounds interesting, but I have no idea what that means. Right.
Yeah.
So, I understand what you're saying. So just to give an example, because maybe there's people watching who are energy workers or work on limiting beliefs, how would you have rephrased that for her to help the everyday person who's, a busy professional?
Right. So when one of the ways when we design package and we come up with a price to charge. So let's take an example. The work that you do, it helps people. I had this amazing client who had this process where she actually worked with people, but she was charging very little, where they didn't have migraine headaches anymore. So when you look at migraine headaches, so somebody who has a business and they miss one day of work a week, what does it cost them? So now I'm teaching you this from the point of view of when you create package and looking at the value of their package, you look at value to this person when they miss work. So when you go and you are talking about to help you overcome the patterns, talk to the direct problems, which is a health professional helps you overcome migraine headaches and back pains so that you don't have to miss a single day of work.
Right.
Generally, it's like so many people, so many different gifts. So the best way to do it is to actually sit with somebody and look at their specialty and look at their life experiences. So I do want to give a simple answer, and I did as well, but it really is knowing what somebody's specialty is and how it can help somebody, get results in their business or in their life. So say, for example, if somebody is struggling with their health issues and you have some specialty which can help them overcome that. So instead of telling them your modality, for example, acupuncture, acupressure, all modalities, what they can do for people, massage therapist. So your specific kind of massage, I had a really brilliant client in San Francisco who was just amazing in what she was able to do with massage. So you would tell somebody especially what you can help them do with their body and what are the results they can expect once they are in good shape. So somebody who is missing work, what can an acupuncture session do for them?
Right.
What kind of healing it can provide. And then it also goes into offering long-term packages, because offering one session is like Tylenol. And we are not about Tylenol. We want people to get a deeper experience of a work so that it lasts long after they stop working with us. So one of the things about high-end packages is to looking at is the depth of your work, then offering it to people so that they get the long experience of your work and they get deeper healing instead of giving somebody one session, which is Tylenol, and then they go back into the pain.
Right.
Giving somebody a full experience so that deal with the pain at a deeper level, whatever is the reason. Sometimes people want and need their pain because it might be helping them, and I mean it in the most respectful way, it might be helping them avoiding looking at the bad marriage. So having that pain keeps them distracted. Once they come for long work and they get the deeper healing, then they don't have pain anymore. They cannot avoid looking at the bad marriage. They might actually take the next step of working with somebody, relationship coach for long term, so that not only they get rid of their pain, also to the next step in their life, which is having good relationships. The life journey doesn't end as long as we are on planet Earth. We're going to show up in different areas of our life, and giving somebody longer term packages means that helping somebody at a deeper level to overcome their pain so that they can look at their whole life, don't need their pain, avoid looking at anything.
And it takes practice, right? So, it takes doing it over and over and forming those habits. So if you're helping somebody one time, that's just an appetizer, right?
Totally.
So,
like appetizer better than Tylenol.
Great. Okay. So do you have any other final tips or tools you'd like to share with our viewers so that they can help reduce their overwhelm?
Yeah, so I would say to take time for self-care, take time for yourself. And you might be thinking, well, but I have got so many list of things to do. Are you telling me to take rest? That's why you need to rest, because you have so many things to do. And you're going to show up better to those things if you rest. They actually did a research in France, and then they decided to take 3 days off because they realized that people were actually more productive. They work 30 hours a week. I work 20 hours a week. I have kids and I pick them up. And I would just say, take rest and take self-care. Take a nap. Nourish yourself. That's when, as a woman, the gift of intuition you have is going to start to speak to you. What are the right steps so that you don't say yes to things that overwhelm you?
Right.
You find your own personal definition of abundance. You need to create a really big life because you want to avoid feeling small like you once felt as a child. Just curious, like with somebody.
Sorry, I didn't understand it.
I work with many teachers and many healers, and sometimes people they want to create a really big life because they don't want to feel small like they might have once felt like a child. Mm-hmm. They were children. Mm-hmm. That's still running away and creating from lack. Because you don't need to create a really big life and multiple streams of income if you don't need them. You can create a really simple, rich, and abundant life. The reason for being overwhelmed and saying yes to so many things and wearing so many hats, what are we trying to avoid? Because Western world, we have more money any other time, then still everybody's working. Men are working, women are working, children are working. We are fully scheduled. Mm-hmm. And,
but scheduled, but not scheduling in our self-care.
Not scheduling in time for ourselves. Always working. And there was, you must have heard the story of an American man who went to Hawaii, and he told this fisherman, you can do this, and you just sell a couple of fish, and then you go home and you can do investments, and then you can make more fish. And then he kept asking, then what will I do? He said, then you will have other investors. And he said, then what I will do? He said, then you will retire and spend time with your family. He said, but I already sell a couple of fish and I go home and I spend time with my family. So I'll do all of that. Go and spend time with my family. And similarly, once somebody went and wanted to buy this land in Hawaii, and elders were like, stay quiet. And these people in their suitcases and in suits, and it's like, let's move on, let's do the deal. And the guy said, well, if you can't listen to the voice of the earth, what's the point of doing the deal with you? What are you going to do when you're going to buy this land? Because the sacredness of land is going to go away if you cannot listen to the land. And I'm not saying to go to a meditation center and stop living your life, and just need to balance both. We need to balance activity with rest. We need to live in the modern life. We don't need to let the modern life take care of us. So we need to understand our reasons for creating what we are creating. Is it running away from what we don't want to feel or what we might have once felt as a child? That's why I start with defining your own personal definition of abundance. Then live that life fully and go deep. Every experience. If you're eating a peach, eat a peach. I mean, really be with that peach. Don't think about what you're going to do next. Where you are.
Being present. Mm-hmm.
Where you need to go. That's my advice to your viewers, and I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you. Yes, I think that's good advice. Sometimes that planning in that downtime and that rest time is the time where, as you said, the intuition comes up. Part of that is just allowing the space for you to listen to, your intuition, your insight, to even ask the questions. Sometimes you don't ask the questions when you're so busy, right? If you can set the time to sit down and say, okay, maybe pull out a journal. What am I doing here? Why am I so busy? Is it necessary for me to be doing all these things? Can I delegate some of them? Can I say no to more things, right? Mm-hmm. And I think when you start asking those questions, then you make the space for the answers to come. Right?
Yeah, that's when you start to say more no's and few yeses, because you know what is good for you.
Right.
your business or for your life.
And your personality too, right? People have different sort of personality constitutions, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong journey to understand ourselves.
It is, yes. Self-mastery is, I think we can be very powerful if we're able to do that to any degree. Thank you so much for being here today. It was fun chatting with you.
It was wonderful talking to you too.
Hello, Mer people. Thanks for listening to the podcast. I just wanted to pop in and ask you to do me a huge favor. If you're enjoying the show, please go to iTunes or wherever you leave your reviews and post a review and rating there for me. That way more people can find our little Mer habitat here on the internet and enjoy our sisterhood, self-care, creativity, and biz boss badassery. If you want to learn more about our exciting upcoming events, gifts, wine, and all the fun things that are Peace, Love, and Wine, send me an email, info@peaceloveandwine.com, or go to peaceloveandwine.com and enter your name to win something fun and get a free self-care download.